Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a huge shift in India's environmental regulatory landscape. We're unpacking the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change's Gazette notification from July 13, 2026. This notification is effectively creating a vital safety net for industrial and infrastructural projects across India. So, if you're involved in project development, this is a massive shift you absolutely need to understand.
I want you to think about this critical question for a second. What actually happens when your state's environmental authority just stops working? For us entrepreneurs and industrialists, the answer is usually an administrative nightmare. Projects get stalled, investments are completely frozen, and momentum just dies. Specifically, we're talking about the bottleneck of stalled Category B project clearances under the EIA Notification 2006. When the system freezes, business freezes.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for demystifying this new notification today. First, we'll look at the clearance bottleneck, then meet the new SAEIA, explore its functions and triggers, dive into the SCEIA support structure, and wrap up with the Secretariat support.
All right, kicking things off with Part 1, the clearance bottleneck.
Normally, Category B projects require clearance from the State-Level Environmental Impact Assessment Authority, or the SEIAA. But what happens when that authority becomes non-functional? Well, the July 2026 notification explicitly defines this. A non-functional SEIAA is one that has stopped working because, say, its tenure expired, or the chairman or a member has been absent for more than a month, or there's a court stay. And when any of those happened, boom, the standard clearance pathway is completely blocked, killing your business momentum.
Which brings us to Part 2, meet the new SAEIA.
Let's unpack this acronym right away so we don't get totally lost in the legal alphabet soup. SAEIA stands for the Standing Authority on Environment Impact Assessment. The central government has basically set this body up for every single state and union territory. Think of it as a permanent contingency authority, a standing emergency backup generator that steps in specifically when the primary authority goes down.
Now, who's actually running this backup generator? The government isn't taking any chances here. They're bringing in the heavy hitters. The chairperson is going to be the chief secretary, the advisor to the administrator, or the left governor, depending on the region. The member role goes to the principal chief conservator of forest, and finally, the member secretary is a special, joint, or deputy secretary in the state's environment department. So yeah, this is a highly streamlined, top-tier executive group.
Moving on to Part 3, functions and triggers.
The legal triggers for this are incredibly specific. The SCEIA doesn't just run all the time. It powers on under 3 exact conditions within the EIA framework. First, if the standard SCEIA is deemed non-functional. Second, in situations where a CIA literally hasn't been constituted yet. And third, if the central government assigns it special responsibilities. When triggered, the SCEIA instantly assumes all the powers of the standard state authority.
But wait, there is a massive catch. 6. The number 6 is absolutely crucial here. You see, the SAEIA is strictly a temporary bridge. The notification makes it crystal clear that it will function for a maximum of 6 months in the first instance. It can be extended, sure, but only for one further extension of up to another 6 months. That's it. It's designed to clear the immediate backlog, not to permanently replace the standard environmental authorities. All right, Part 4, the SCEIA support structure. Enter the SCEIA, the Standing Committee on Environment Impact Appraisal. Now, try not to confuse this with the SAEIA we just talked about. Look, in the standard process, projects are first reviewed by a technical committee known as the SEAC. Well, just like the SAEIA is the backup for the main authority, the SCEIA is the backup for the technical committee. They are the expert understudy stepping in to assess Category B projects whenever the standard SCAC is down.
And the composition of this committee brings together an incredibly diverse mix of expertise. You've got the Administrative Secretary of the Environment Department as chairperson. Members include the Chief Wildlife Warden, the Director of Health Services, and the Member Secretary of the Pollution Control Board. But check out that domain expert role. It's reserved for the director or principal of a state IIT or NIT or a NERI nominee. That ensures top-tier academic and technical rigor is maintained even during a backup scenario.
And here is where the foresight in this regulation really shines. The notification actually states, and I quote, "The chairperson of the SCEIA may co-opt experts or institutions of repute for assisting the SCEIA in any particular matters." This flexibility is built directly into the text. If a project involves super specialized, nuanced environmental impacts, the committee isn't limited.
they can legally bring in outside specialized help to ensure a rock-solid appraisal.
Finally, Part 5, Secretariat Support.
So, logistically, how does this all come together? While standard administrative pathways handle normal SEIAA operations, this new framework explicitly tasks the State Pollution Control Board, or the Union Territory equivalent, with being the logistical backbone. They officially act as the secretariat for both of these new backup bodies.
And it's not just a suggestion, it's a legal mandate. The State Pollution Control Board is required to provide all the logistical support. We're talking arranging transportation, providing accommodation, covering the whole shebang. Plus, the state government is legally bound to supply the necessary manpower and resources. This basically guarantees that when the backup generator gets flipped on, it operates with zero administrative friction. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. If a bottleneck hits your state tomorrow, is your business actually prepared to navigate this new backup clearance pathway? Understanding the roles of the SAEIA and the SCEIA, knowing exactly who is on these committees, and recognizing those strict 6-month timelines, it's no longer just legal trivia. It is an absolutely vital component of your project compliance strategy. If you found this update helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with fellow entrepreneurs. For more deep dives into the latest environmental regulations and industrial news, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.